Yo, what is good YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some more news, notes, highlights, and observations from yet another day here at Cleveland Browns training camp. Things are really starting to ramp up, and they're starting to do more 11-on-11s, some more individual drills. Pads aren't on just yet, but things are really starting to ramp up, and some guys have really stood out over the past couple of days, and I do want to let you guys know, just so you guys can keep an eye on some of these guys going over the next few days here. However, before we get into the video, I need you guys to do me a big favor and smash that like button if you haven't already done so. It helps out the channel so much you don't even understand. So hit that like button. Let's see if we can get 150 likes on this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the entirety of the offseason, which includes free agency, any trades that take place, all of training camp. So if you guys want to see almost every single day of training camp for the Browns, I got you guys covered. Join the family, and I also will be live streaming games. So also, if you want to watch some Browns games with me, make sure you guys join the family. Turn on post notifications so you're notified not only every time we post a video, but every time we go live for a game. I will be streaming some Cleveland Brown games this year as well. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the Cleveland Browns Day 3 training camp period was very intriguing to me. A lot of guys were out, especially Amari Cooper, Marquise Goodwin, I believe Jakeem Grant, Anthony Schwartz. So a bunch of these guys who have that top end speed were resting today, didn't really get too much playing time. But with that being said, a lot of guys stood out, a lot of guys continued to get better, and a lot of these young guys look really good. Now, including Elijah Moore, looked very, very good. Watching through multiple passes during 11-on-11s to Elijah Moore, it looks like he is going to be maybe not the focal point of the offense, but he is going to be one of the biggest members of this offense. He was lining up in the backfield, he was getting end arounds, he was getting quick slants, he was getting down the right sideline. I mean, he was doing almost anything that you can think of. He was moving all around the offense, and I think that's just one positive that he brings to this team. And right away, you've been seeing a lot of, chemistry building, team bonding between him and Deshaun Watson, and I think that's only the beginning for them too. I think this could be a match made, a match made in heaven for these two guys. But also, another guy who's looked really good is Donovan Peoples-Jones. Now, like I said, he's been lining up on the outside. He's been getting a lot of deep balls. And I think primarily because Amari Cooper's out, he's starting to get more and more reps, which is good. I do think he'll be a full one of those 3 starters going forward. But if Amari Cooper is ever out with an injury, look for Donovan Peoples-Jones to be one of the main targets at the wide receiver position. Now, we also saw a lot of reps out of Cedric Tillman. He made a couple of really impressive catches down the sideline. And then you also saw David Bell get some burn as well. So those two guys I want you to look out for. I don't know whether they're going to be, getting a lot of reps in year one, or Cedric Tillman getting a lot of reps his rookie season. I mean, because when you look at the Browns depth chart, they have so many wide receivers: Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, Marquise Goodwin. They love him over there, so I think he could possibly make the roster if he gets healthy. Jakeem Grant, Anthony Schwartz, Jalen Darden. So they have so many guys already. I'm not sure how much Cedric Tillman or David Bell are going to play this year, but I do expect them to play a little bit. They won't be full-time starters unless there's an injury. Then I could see Cedric Tillman being a or get thrown into the full-time role. Now, he's like, 6'3", 215 pounds. He's probably the biggest wide receiver on the roster right now. So if he does get a lot of playing time, it would be in the red zone. I think he could be a nice little red zone target for Deshaun Watson. We also saw a little bit of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Didn't participate too much in team drills, but he is continuing to, get into the playbook and continue to improve over the next few days. But so far, so good for this Browns team. One of the most important things I've seen and what I've heard from this DB room is that all of these guys are very interchangeable in terms of their versatility. I mean, you have so many. I mean, Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, Juan Thornhill, Martin Emerson, Greg Newsome. All of these guys are switching in and out of different positions, making them just way more versatile defensively in that DB room. So that's something I want you guys to note. We're seeing a lot of Greg Newsome in the slot, but he's also moved to the outside corner, and then Martin Emerson moved to the inside at some times. You're seeing Juan Thornhill move into the slot cornerback role a little bit. So all these guys are moving in interchangeable different positions, and that is huge for their dynamic throughout the season of being, or defensively anyway. And this could be a top end defense all of next season. I mean, they added Dalvin Tomlinson, you add Zadarius Smith, you go out, you bring back Anthony Walker and Taki are completely healthy, so they're getting better. You bring in Juan Thornhill from the Kansas City Chiefs coming off a Super Bowl victory, and then you pair them up with, Myles Garrett and Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah, and you pair them up with Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome and I mean, this defense looks terrifying if you ask me, but overall I think this team has gone better. I think they're continuing to improve as the days go on, and I think this is just the beginning of something special here in Cleveland. We haven't seen them be amazing in a while, but I think that they could reach that level, reach that height of being one of the best teams in the division next season, even though it's a very tough division with the Bengals and the Ravens and the Steelers. But I do think, there's been a lot of seasons where the Browns underperformed. I think this could be the first year that they overperform and actually make a playoff push and maybe even make some noise in the playoffs. Let me know what you guys think, though. We'll see what goes on over the next few days. When the pads come on, that's when we'll know a lot more about who's really looking good. But let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think is one player that can break out for this Browns team next season? And also subscribe, hit the like button, join the family, and go check out Underdog Fantasy. There's going to be a whole segment. If you want to play some fantasy football with me all season long, every single week, go check out Underdog Fantasy. You'll see the segment come up right after this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, and if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.